Hey guys, it's Ping here with Vital MX, and we're here at Glen Helen today with a really cool project. Well, it's not our project. Cole Seeley let us jump on his motorcycle that he's been working on the last couple months and finally got finished. He's been riding it a little bit, let us have a chance on it. And there's some other than looking incredibly cool, Cole did a fantastic job aesthetically with this bike, but he did a couple things that are really neat. Mainly, he put KYB suspension on this thing. I've never ridden KYB on any Austrian model, so I thought, man, that would be fun to just see what that feels like. He let us try it, so here we are. If you haven't seen this bike before, some of the things he did, the motor work is all very simple, very basic. He said, I don't need a ton more horsepower. These things run great already. Full Yoshimura exhaust. He had twisted development. Just clean up the engine, do some mapping on it, runs on pump fuel, nothing crazy. And that's really it. That's all. He didn't do a whole lot to it. What he did though, for the looks of the thing, stripped this frame down. It was chemically stripped. They re-blued all the welds and then put a clear on it, so the frame is just gorgeous. The engine components, anything that gets hot, the radiators, that was all Cerakote done in black. And then the swing arm, the link arm, the levers, the brake pedal shifter, all that stuff that doesn't get exposed to heat is just powder coated. So the end result is a beautiful looking motorcycle. He just took every single part into account and made this thing look amazing. So thanks for even letting us jump on this thing, Cole. So really the takeaway for me on the track today, the engine feels like a, just slightly modified KTM or Husky. It's very strong, there's power everywhere. I ended up going to map 1, which is more of a mellow map, and putting the traction control on. And that was the best setup for me. And I found that's probably true out here at Glen Helen where you get down to that hard base on all of the Austrian bikes. Nothing really out of the ordinary in terms of engine performance here. It was great, super broad, more horsepower than I need, but a lot of fun and tunable enough that you can make it comfortable for a pretty broad range of conditions and riders. What was really interesting was the suspension. And this KYB stuff, which is available through Technical Touch, you can pretty much buy this fork just like this. It's gonna set you back. Your wallet's gonna thin down a lot, but you can buy this. This is essentially what all the top elite factory riders are running in supercross and motocross. And this fork's incredible. It's, I don't know how to describe a factory fork other than to just say, it just instills confidence. You know you're never gonna blow all the way through it. If I don't know if you've ever gone long off of a jump and you land and you see a braking bump, like a sharp one, coming up and you're gonna land right into it. I think for most of us, you go, oh no, you just expect it to either bottom out and go metal to metal and hurt your wrists, or to pop back out and shoot you off the track. I know I've had that happen plenty of times on production suspension, even if it's valve forming. Sometimes you hit something that really surprises you. No surprises with this stuff. It's so consistent and so predictable. I will say that the harder and this is true of every factory setup I've ever ridden, the harder you ride it, the better it'll work. If you go out and you're just cruising around at 80%, it's gonna feel firm. It's gonna feel like you're getting too much feedback. I can't tell you how many times I've had that happen. And if you just push harder, push race pace, all of a sudden it's like, oh, it feels better now. Now it feels good. Now I'm getting the comfort I want, but it's tracking, it's doing everything I want. That's just a characteristic of suspension that's set up for guys that ride at a high level. I love this fork. It's still probably for me a touch firm. Obviously Cole's going way faster than I go, but I would soften it up a bit just to get a little more comfort. But you can just feel that consistency and that confidence-inspiring feel where you know it's not going to do anything weird. The shock for me, well, two things. This shock body you cannot buy. This was a kind of a 1 or 2 off that KYB did for a couple of guys on the factory team a year or 2 ago. It's a huge diameter piston in this thing, and it's more for supercross specific. It's a shock that Cole bought, so now he's just using it for this, but honestly it's probably too much for motocross. But they sell something very similar that would perform probably even better than this, and you can buy that through KYB. But it will not be this exact shock body, so just know that going in. For me, this shock was way too stiff. If you look at the way Cole rides, he's obviously much taller, and he rides kind of further off the back of the bike than I do. I tend to really ride with a lot of weight on the front wheel. Cole's further back, so he's gonna weight that shock more. And today I never felt like I could get the shock to kind of squat into where it should be. It was always tall and a little bit firm. And that's just indicative of our different riding styles. I don't know what Cole weighs. Maybe we're similar, but he's obviously going way faster than me. So didn't work awesome. But again, I could feel that anytime I landed hard into something, it's just not doing anything unpredictable. It was just a little too firm for me. And we didn't mess with it. I don't want to screw with Cole's settings. I wanted to get a true feel of how he's riding it. I can't recommend this fork enough. And you know, frankly, on these Austrian brands, the stock shocks are great. The fork is where, you know, even when you get that air fork working sweet, the pressures can go up and down. You always got to check it. To me, it's just a kind of a little bit of a pain. So I'd rather go to a spring. All the other little things, brakes, just felt comfortable. Felt like a well put together GasGas, you know, just a really nice, comfortable bike. And I think more than anything, it's cool looking. It's just, as I was riding through the pits, everybody probably was thinking I was a short, fat version of Cole Seeley, but everybody was staring at this bike. It's beautiful. So anyway, Cole, thanks a bunch for letting us ride it, man. We had a ball. Guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully we get some more cool projects like this coming. We've got our project builds coming soon, so stay tuned for those. We'll see you guys then.